Hi, over to you.
Thanks, Larissa. Today, I'm going to talk about the cloud transformation journey that we took at Siemens Healthineers, and we'll also talk about how it has helped us in the pandemic situation. Before starting, let me just give a brief introduction about myself. I am responsible for global cloud and data center services in Siemens Healthineers. And if you look at Siemens Healthineers, we are the powerhouse in the healthcare industry, mostly market leaders in most of our businesses in most of the countries. Overall 53,000 employees globally in 70 plus locations, what we have. And with this, to give you a little bit overview of our IT infrastructure, we are hosting 2,000 plus non-ERP applications in almost 100 plus hosting locations worldwide. So we have quite a bit of infrastructure footprint to support our organization. And with that, it gives you perspective on, let's say, why cloudification is so important for us. And this is where cloud journey and cloud transformation, we have made this as part of our IT strategy to overall digitalize the core what we have. And there are basically 4 pillars as part of our IT strategy in which cloud plays a key role. First one is innovation for users. And this is all about putting user in the center and building, let's say, workflows or processes or solutions like digital workplace, integrated service desks around user. And then, of course, we see cloud as very important for cybersecurity. That means to improve our defend, protect, and monitor capabilities for attacks of tomorrow when it comes to securing our data and securing our information and application assets. The third pillar is around digitalization of processes and applications. And this is where cloud plays a big role by modernizing our applications, by modernizing our processes with low-code solutions, with SaaS solutions, and where SaaS is not possible, by moving to public cloud like Microsoft and Amazon cloud over there. And lastly, also to transform our organization, and that is where cloud skill set for the people plays a big role for getting the skills of tomorrow, what is needed to serve our business and serve our Healthineers globally over there. So we have made cloud as a key component or core of our IT strategy in Siemens Healthineers. And now I will tell you a little bit about how we are doing this cloud transformation over the last few years. So let me start with 2017. This is where we actually started with, let's say, a true cloud journey at Siemens Healthineers IT. This is where we started with the incubation. We started looking at how cloud can help us, where we can apply cloud. We started learning about cloud capabilities. And then we started building a cloud competence center. And this is where we have built it with strong focus in our nearshore and offshore locations, which are India and Slovakia for us. And this is where we have built majority of the team around architects, around engineers, around developers, administrators, security experts, in addition to our global team members in USA and Germany as well. So ramping up of the cloud competence center, and then also ramping up some of the core infrastructure, what is needed for cloud. For example, network connectivity to our internet, our intranet, how to do operations in cloud, how to do governance in cloud. So all this we started setting up in 2017 and 2018. And by end of 2018, we were in a good shape to launch a official global cloud migration program at Siemens Healthineers. We call it Ascend internally. And this is our global cloud migration program to migrate workloads and applications from 100 plus locations that we have on-premise to public cloud over next few years over there. Then in last 2 years, under umbrella of this global cloud migration program, we were able to roll out managed cloud operations service. And this is where we have built what we call managed public cloud data centers, which are more or less operating same as our on-premise data centers, what we have. And this is what we have built globally in US, in Europe, in Singapore, Tokyo, Germany, China, and India. And this basically serves more or less our global, let's say, user base to host infrastructure in public cloud platform. And we have connected these cloud data centers, primarily Microsoft Cloud data centers, directly with Express Route and high bandwidth to our Siemens Healthineers sites. And then we are able to build the operations for infrastructure as a service, for platform as a service. So really building end-to-end managed operations for our infrastructure running in cloud. And then in last 2 years, with this, let's say, clear foundation, stable foundation, we were able to actually completely eliminate 2 of our data centers. One was in Japan and one was in Cary, North Carolina in US. And in addition to this, we have also migrated some 65 plus applications globally from other data centers, what we have in last 2 years. In addition, by default, any new application or any new use case which needs infrastructure, which needs like virtual machines or any kind of storage and compute, we try primarily to build it in cloud platform rather than building it on premise going forward. Then looking forward in now our next calendar year and beyond, now we are working on, let's say, further doing mass migration of our applications to cloud. And then whatever is remaining on premise, what we are not able to put in cloud, to consolidate it into on-premise data centers. And we don't want to really provide, let's say, traditional data centers in future for our internal business users for storage and compute. We want to really provide cloud-like capabilities also on-premise. And this is where we are working on launching Edge and true hybrid cloud concept for Healthineers, where we have one operational framework on how we provide services, how we provide IT infrastructure services to our business, irrespective of if it is in different cloud platforms like Amazon or Microsoft, or if it is hosted in our on-premise data centers globally over there. Then I believe cloud management will be a big focus in next years to build further, let's say, governance and further cost optimization, further automation, and more self-service, where our application teams, our business teams can consume cloud services in a seamless manner without need for submitting tickets for IT organization, or without waiting for days or weeks to get some infrastructure provisioned and managed. And then cloud native is already a trend, and we see also within our organization where more and more we are doing re-architecture of old legacy applications to be able to leverage more microservices-based architecture, or more container-based, or to leverage more on platform services, what cloud provider provides over there. So these are some of, let's say, the areas where we see our cloud transformation journey being evolving in next couple of years over there to further bring cloud capabilities to our organization in Siemens Healthineers. Now, how it has helped us during pandemic. So especially I see it as twofold. One is we were very quickly able to ramp up the remote connectivity solutions, what we use to to do VPN to our internal network. And we had this global presence of cloud data centers, and we were just quickly able to ramp up all the infrastructure needed to provision the global deployment of VPN infrastructure as our employees started working from home or working remotely. And second is cloud offered us possibilities and alternatives for many short-term solutions where we were able to quickly introduce to the organization in short amount of time. And two examples, what I bring to you. One is we used Microsoft Azure Windows Virtual Desktop solution to provide quick workplace where our employees can connect, or our contractors, for example, can connect from internet into our network and access our application seamlessly. Also, we leveraged on Azure Application Proxy Service, which allows you to basically make your intranet applications public facing in a secure manner without need for re-architecting or rehosting or let's say relocating your application infrastructure environment over there. So overall, the investments we have made in our cloud competence center, in our cloud infrastructure with high bandwidth connectivity, with our global presence, with our managed operations, we were in quite a bit of fortunate situation to have the right resiliency for our business continuity for our organization over there. Some key learnings that I just want to share around our cloud transformation journey, what we have, let's say, came across and what we have overcome. So one is, it is always good to just get the technical and operational setup fully addressed and out of the way. Yeah, so we had a lot of questions around core infrastructure setup, how to access internet for an application which is hosted in a cloud in a secure manner based on our organization security and compliance requirements. Does cloud operations provide same maturity as we have for our enterprise applications on-premise around incident response times, around major incident management? So all those technical things and operational setup you want to fully address and get that out of the way so that it is solid, it is working in a stable manner, it is mature as your on-premise operations over there. And then second, you want to spread the message of what cloud can do, with concrete use cases, with trainings for your people. And this is where we hosted a lot of awareness events, cloud days, workshops, with internal IT teams, with business teams, application teams, security teams. You need them at all levels. You cannot underestimate, let's say, the importance of communication and change management when it comes to cloud transformation. Then what we always encourage internally for our business teams is to jump in and to do a proof of concept, even if they don't see, let's say, direct benefits at beginning or to start with, rather than rejecting the applicability of cloud to a particular use case. Just jump in and do a small POC or a pilot. You can't win if you don't play. Yeah? And then in beginning, you may face a lot of cost discussions, whether you will save cost by moving to cloud. And what you need to look at is how can you transform these discussions from cost to more around value, because cloud is not really only a driver for cost savings. Yeah, it is more for bringing you benefits of agility, flexibility, scalability, the global presence, and to be really fast and innovative in future. So those are the discussions that you want to have rather than the cost discussions. And then lastly, as you ramp up in cloud, as you grow in cloud, to not lose focus on cloud governance, and also not to underestimate, let's say, the effort and bandwidth you need to spend on cloud governance, especially to keep your costs in check or to keep your asset management in check. And this is where you need a lot of lot of good automation, a lot of strong policies, and little bit, let's say, the central rather than more distributed approach. At least what has worked for us in our organization. I mean, there are a lot more learnings, a lot more challenges that you will face and you will come across, which you will have to overcome. But these are some of the main ones which I thought to bring to this round as information. So this is what I had, and I appreciate time to bring me and to invite me into this forum. And with that, I hand it over to you, Larissa, for any questions we might.
Thank you so much, Rohit. Actually, we have a question. Rohit, great presentation. How did you manage the bimodal syndrome between supporting your legacy versus new world cloud from your IT people?
Yep. So one aspect is to really, let's say, at a senior management level, align where you want to spend IT effort overall as an organization. And for us, we said we want to invest in future. Yeah, we want to invest what our business needs tomorrow, what kind of capabilities they need, for example, for AI or data analytics, or to build new solutions, or what our R&D teams need, and what kind of storage, compute, and other infrastructure capabilities they need. And that is where to focus most of the efforts and our investments into those areas, and to keep legacy as more or less status quo, but at the same time find opportunities as technologies are becoming outdated or going end of support. Like recently, we had a big 2008 end of support project, which provided a lot of opportunities to move 2008 Windows servers and 2008 SQL servers to cloud, because support was ending, and we will have to invest a lot more if we were to keep them on-premise. So that was an opportunity to refresh them into either newer operating systems, newer technology, or even if where we cannot move away from 2008, to move them to Microsoft Cloud, where we get extended support included as part of the cloud services. So those are the kind of decisions what you need to make. But I would say aligning that at an organization level on where you want to spend how much effort in legacy versus non-legacy is the key.
Thank you. Rohit, how to engage top management and operational teams on the cloud journey?
Yeah, so for the management, what we have what has helped us is to have a strong and compelling business case. So when we approach our senior management layer to really put concrete use cases with concrete, let's say, benefits that we want to achieve by doing that, and at the same time also make it clear on the risk if we don't do this, if we don't do this, let's say, cloud transformation, or if we don't do this cloud migration, what is the risk for the organization in next 12 months, 18 months, or 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years down the road? And based on that, the acceptance and let's say the engagement and buy-in from senior management is usually better if they see clear benefits and clear that risk benefit and analysis over there. And for the operations team, what we have felt is more you are able to train your operations team into cloud skills and cloud expertise, and more they understand how cloud works and what it means for them to do cloud operations, more they are engaged, or better they are engaged. And then to start with, let's say, a small workload to migrate to cloud, and let them operate, let them tailor their operational processes, their service management processes to cloud, and let them build that experience over there. And with that, they are more and more, let's say, mature in taking over operations or building operations for more significant workloads as you bring them to cloud.
Rohit, we have another question. Did you work on a core application transformation, or did you do a factory transformation when you migrate your 2008 to cloud?
Yeah, so we have done both. And the factory-based approach we have done, for example, in our Japan data center, where we looked at data center as a whole, and we said all the applications and all the infrastructure, what we are running there, let's analyze them, let's assess them, and figure out what can go to cloud and how it can go to cloud with lift and shift or with re-platform, or we have to re-architect something, or we have to sunset something and buy a SaaS solution. So we have taken that approach, but this approach doesn't, let's say, scale up for us in all our data centers globally. And this is where to be fast and to leverage on opportunities, what we have internally in the organization, we have gone with application-based approach and different center of excellences and different competence centers as they have use case for cloud, and as they are doing their, let's say, application upgrades, as they are doing, let's say, the sunset of their old infrastructure, we are partnering with them and we are taking those opportunities to bring those applications to cloud. So that is where we have a dual approach, looking at both data center level as a factory approach and application by application as well, wherever we have the opportunity.
Great. And my last question, I think I know this is really broad, but how to overcome cultural challenges to innovation, Rohit?
Yeah, so two things I would say. One is to, let's say, not stop experimenting. Yeah, and especially with cloud, means cloud technology is changing so fast, and a lot of new cloud services are coming. If you look at Microsoft or Amazon, they are releasing thousands of updates every day or every week, and it is very hard to be on pace with them, to know everything and to adopt everything into your organization. But what helps is to continuously experiment with the new services which are coming in, to learn about them, and then to really create kind of a fail fast culture. And that is what I think we have created in my team, where we are not afraid to try out something new when we receive a demand internally, or when we have a use case to try a new approach with a new service, but to really not have a big scope where we are working on for months or quarters without any results. We really have small, let's say, pilots which runs for a couple of weeks, and then we see if it is working or if it is not working. If it is not working, then we just want to end it over there and want to try something new. So this is where to keep the small scope really small and to create that fail fast approach over there. And the second aspect is to communicate your successes out of these proof of concepts or out of this innovation POCs that you are doing, but also to talk about your failures as to why something did not work and how differently you will do it next time. Yeah. So with this, we feel usually the team is quite on the innovative edge, and then you are able to scale this to other teams when you are working in a cross-functional setup over there and create this kind of an innovative culture all around.
Okay, so one last question that just came. So how much had you to change the standard on-prem process when going to cloud? Any insight on that?
Yes, I'm not sure what it is referring to, but let me take from the operations perspective. So from operations perspective, we had to, okay, ITIL or non-ITIL, yes. So yes, so we basically started with what we had on-premise from the process perspective, but not necessarily from the tool perspective. So we kept, let's say, the requirements same of what we had on-premise from our service management processes, incident management, problem management, change management processes. And then we said how to apply it to the cloud. And to start with, we tried to put it more one-to-one. and only change it where it doesn't fit. And then over time, now if you look at 3 years into the journey or 4 years into the journey, the processes are looking much different in cloud than what we had on-premise. But we did not start with that new process when we started our journey in the cloud. So it was more of a continuous improvement and a continuous change which led us there.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. A huge thank you to Rohit for that fantastic session. Some really fantastic insights there, and I hope you all enjoy it as much as I did.